This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Prime. In association with Micromax. Nothing like anything.
Bienvenue, welcome to CNB folks. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Partnkar. It comes around once every 2 years and it is always action-packed. We are at the 2014 Paris Motor Show. And when I say we've got the team here with us because Team CNB will be bringing you the best. We've got Balakrishnan and Ameya, both of them joining me. And we're going to go into the Porte de Versailles facility. It's a massive campus, as these guys now know. And we're going to bring you the very best of the show. You guys all set?
Yep. Let's go.
Let's go.
The biennial Paris Motor Show always brings us plenty of action. While it is a home show for the French, it is also one where the Germans, Americans and Asians come with their full artillery and plenty of new launches. Here are our top picks from this year. First up, the Big Hulk, an all-new BMW X6.
The headlights now go all the way and meet the front grille. That's typical of what's happening with BMW styling, and that's perhaps one of the few ways to know that this is the new generation, the second generation of the X6 from BMW. The Big Hulk also looking a little bit less like the Big Hulk that we're used to seeing, so perhaps getting a little bit more sporty and aerodynamic as well. With good reason, because the MLC from Mercedes-Benz is coming around very soon to be a nice strong rival to this car. Surprised not to see that one here at Paris. Probably Mercedes decided it wants to hold it back for the Detroit show. After all, that will be important for the US market. Now, the new X6, we'll be driving it very soon, so you will have it on the show in just a few weeks' time.
Volkswagen has been on a rampage when it comes to facelifts in India. We've seen the Polo, we've seen the Vento, but now there is a new generation of the Passat that will come to India. This is the 8th generation of the Passat, and it will come with the 1.4-litre TSI petrol and the 2-litre TDI diesel. But Volkswagen says that the diesel one is the more powerful and more fuel efficient than any of the earlier generations. Quite a ones to see. So Ferrari has unveiled the Speciale A, which is essentially the convertible version of this model. This is a limited edition model, so about 499 units of this will be produced. But this is a Ferrari after all, so we are not too surprised about that. Also, it houses the V8 engine capable of doing 0 to 100 in a flat 3 seconds.
But after all, this is a Ferrari, so we're not too surprised really.
The second generation of the Mercedes B-Class has been a big hit for the company. It sold more than 350,000 units of these, so which is why the facelift, as subtle as it seems from the outside, is important. There's a minor tweaking to the bumper. You now have daytime running lights integrated into the headlamp cluster, but the big changes are on the inside. You now have the AMG trim available on the B-Class for the first time, so that's why this car looks a little bit hotter on the inside. It's got the carbon fiber, the metal inserts, and a flat steering wheel. That is new across the range now as well, just to give it a bit of a sportier appeal.
I mean, altogether, our plan for expansion, our plan for leadership has as one strong ingredient the compact car segment, which is a huge segment and which, even more importantly, gives us opportunity to win over new customers, conquest sales. It does this job perfectly well. We have up to 80% conquest rate, which is kind of unheard of. Of course, India is a young market as far as the population is concerned and the car market, and therefore these cars are very well suited for the Indian market as well and will give us the momentum to go ahead in this market as well.
Now, one of the hybrid models that is creating a lot of interest here at the Paris Motor Show is the Porsche Cayenne SE hybrid. This is the third plug-in hybrid from the Porsche stable, clearly outlining the strategy for plug-in hybrids from Porsche. Now, this plug-in hybrid will replace the Cayenne hybrid, which had ended production a few months back.
It's the world debut of the Ducati Scrambler. It's just taking place here in Europe, and in Paris we get to see the bike. It draws on some of the heritage styling cues from some of the past bikes of Ducati, and yet the company insists it's not trying to go retro with this bike. 800cc engine, 75 horsepower, 6-speed gearbox, looks really sexy and exciting, and the good news is that for the big re-entry that we're expecting from Ducati, this is one of the bikes that could lead that charge. The price here in France adds up to about 6,70,000 rupees. Add in a little bit of that customs duty, and we're still looking at about a 10 lakh price point when this bike makes it to India sometime in 2015. On that note, it's a quick break that we're going to slip into here on CNB. Plenty more from Paris, from the Mondial, that's coming up on the other side. The point about the more competitive segments, I mean, clearly that is where you need to have success in India for any kind of success for the alliance. CMFA is, of course, one particular sort of end of that. And what you've already had with a little entry with Datsun, would you say that that was an important step, or do you think it could have been a bigger step for you?
No, I think it's an important step, Datsun. Obviously, we are in the middle of it now. You know, we launched the cars at the same time in Indonesia and India. In Indonesia, we have an undisputable success. In India, we're struggling. A part of the reason for which we are struggling is our dealer network is not ready yet, which is putting a handicap. On top of this, in India, In this segment of the market, there is much more competition than Indonesia. So there are some reasons for which we're struggling, but I think it's a very good step because it's part of the learning curve in the Indian market and part of the try, test, correct until you get it right. So that's what we are doing. So I don't think it would be a step that we could have avoided. I hope it's going to be finally a big success, which we're still working toward this. And if not, at least we'll learn about why, and then we'll come with the correction.
You've started to now expand the locally produced car portfolio in India. We've just had recently another variant of the XJ drive-in, which is driving out of the Pune plant. Are we now close to a point where you will start to think about either expanding that plant or looking at a new facility?
Yeah, we permanently think over whenever it's the right time to expand the already existing facility. But that means also that we have to have a critical mass to make it happen. And so we are very optimistic that whenever the economy comes back, that we are there right on time.
We continue with our top 10 from the 2014 Paris Motor Show. At number 5 is SUV specialist Land Rover with the all-new Discovery Sport.
It's a very different character you see on this particular show car. The blackened elements, the grille, blackened headlamp cluster, black inserts in the bumper, and a black little bit of a fender air vent kind of a feel, and of course the black alloys contrasting beautifully off this really hot orange. Shows you the kind of different spaces that Land Rover wants to go into in terms of the kind of customers it's looking at for the Discovery Sport.
Now, needless to say, Lamborghini creates a lot of excitement at whichever motor show, even if it's a new launch. But this year, it's a lot more special because it's a plug-in hybrid that's coming in from Lamborghini. Yes, a plug-in hybrid called the Esterion from Lamborghini. But no worries, there is still enough power there. It's a V10 engine, about 910 horsepower. So it's still quite a beast, but does it still have the Lamborghini character? We earlier caught up with Stefan Wilkeman, the CEO of Lamborghini, to get a sense of this plug-in strategy. What about the overall strategy? Is this part of the overall strategy for Lamborghini itself to get into something like this, or is it still going to be still at the concept stage?
This is a concept stage. It's clear that the legislators are pushing every brand to reduce emissions. There is a limit to certain technologies, so we have to evaluate every possible path. A time being for Huracan and for Aventador, we are perfect with the naturally aspirated engines. And this is not stopping us to test the market for future visions or ideas which might come up in the name of Lamborghini.
Now, the urban SUV concept had turned into the Vezel a few months ago, and we were told very specifically that car will not come to India. Now you're seeing this. This is the HRV prototype. Yes, again, it's a prototype, but it looks like a production car in terms of the shape, size, attribute, even the styling up front and the face, very much like what you're seeing on Hondas these days. The question, is this what we're going to finally get? Because Honda needs to move fast now on getting us a subcompact SUV, isn't it? Well, the only other question that remains is, will it be something like this, or will it be one that's based on the Brio Amaze platform as well? We'll be watching very closely. Something more real world and something that's going to happen before this does is across on the other side, and Ameo is with it.
So I'm here with the CR-V, which is bound to come to India. And we can see that there are marginal changes made. Like at the front, there are these garnish of LEDs. And of course, then there is the rear, which sees a garnish of chrome. The only thing I can't understand is, it looks production ready. Then why is it called a prototype?
Skoda's third generation Fabia is a wider, longer and shorter car than its predecessor, and it has a sharper, more angular design and will sport a host of connectivity and convenience features. It has gone on sale in Europe with competitive pricing and engine options ranging from a 59 bhp 1-litre petrol to a 104 bhp 1.4 TDI diesel. Still no word on when the car will come to India. And at number 1 is the car that will make or break Jaguar in the foreseeable future. A 3 Series and C-Class rival, the XE.
It's getting a lot of attention, and why not? It had a spectacular debut in London just a few days ago, and now the XE is here for the world to see. Lots of anticipation around this car for the brand, and for me particularly, the color really works. They call it blue fire, by the way. Oh yeah, it's got me fired up, that's for sure. But the big thing is going to be, how does the car drive? So that's something we'll have to wait to find out. And the India launch, we'll have to wait even longer. It's probably only going to happen at the start of 2016. It's the world debut of the 5th generation of the Opel Corsa, a nameplate that sadly we have nothing to do with in our market anymore. We're going to move a little bit away now from this motor show and talk a little bit about the CNB awards. Now, the Viewer's Choice category is the one that we get really excited about. So do you. The winner of the 2014 CNB Viewer's Choice car, the EcoSport. We have the winner of that EcoSport, a very special family in Pune, and I was lucky enough to be there.
CNB Viewer's Choice Car of the Year.
The Viewer's Choice Car of the Year is the Ford EcoSport.
Ford EcoSport, the NDTV CNB Viewer's Choice Car of the Year. Congratulations. So there's always lots of happiness and excitement around the CNB Viewer's Choice contest, especially for the winner and the winner's family. This year too, we have a very special family. We're very happy to be able to bring them to their EcoSport today. We're in Pune, of course, that's where the winner comes from, Mrs. Vaidehi Sathe. She's here with her family, she got here a little bit before me, so let's catch up on all the action that's happening here at the Ford dealership.
The Sathe family is made up of 2 academicians who work at the prestigious Pune University. Vaidehi Sathe was watching CNB all those months ago when she voted for the EcoSport.
It was a great surprise to me because I ever heard that she has been, but it is not just like first time I have a prize, and it is a great surprise to me.
The Sathes have 2 young daughters who are equally happy. Their family is upgrading from an old entry hatch to the hot new EcoSport. And then it was time for them to get the keys.
Now the Sathe family is getting a bit of a brief on the EcoSport, all the features, etc. And they are absolutely excited. I know they can't wait to get out in that vehicle. This is the part which makes it so special for us as well. I'm very happy I got to be a part of all of this happiness with them today. And you know what? That's the thing about the Indian market too. No matter how many cars we get, no matter how advanced the market gets, this kind of emotion, this sentiment, that's uniquely Indian. You can't take that away, and I'm so glad. Hope it stays forever.
Sathe was nervous about driving such a tall car, she says, given the rain. And so it's her husband who's going to drive them home.
This is the update on the Rolls-Royce Ghost. The Series 2 is the facelift, and there's also some technical upgrades. Pretty much big changes, but done in a subtle Rolls-Royce fashion. We have more details on this car because I've also driven it. We'll bring you that on the program in one of our forthcoming episodes. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye to you. we couldn't quite pack in everything that this massive Paris Motor Show throws up at us, and so which is why we will have more from the Mondial de l'Automobile on the program next week. Something for you to look forward to. I'm going to say au revoir. Please wear your seatbelts. Please wear your helmets.